this week, we are sharing stories of the lives changed by the tragedy at Columbine High School.
This Saturday marks 25 years since 12 students and 1 teacher were killed at the school. And tonight, for the first time in more than a decade, we're hearing from the father of one of those victims, Isaiah Shoels.
Denver 7's Micah Smith traveled to Clarksville, Tennessee for a candid one-on-one conversation with Michael Shoels.
I try my best to ignore your calls. Because I normally just start blocking around this time of the year. I put my phone on block. It's been 25 years and I've been quiet. I've been subtle. My family ain't bothered nobody, and we just got in our little corner and tried to make it ourselves. But it's come to the point that somebody got to start talking about it. My name is Michael Shoels. I'm the father of Isaiah Shoels. He was one of the victims that was taken out so early in his life.
On April 20th, 1999, the shooting at Columbine High School put 13 families on a path of unimaginable grief. For Isaiah Shoels' family, that grief was compounded by feelings of isolation and scrutiny. In his first interview in more than a decade, from a parlor room in Clarksville, Tennessee, Isaiah's father, Michael Shoels, agrees to share his son's story.
Who was Isaiah?
Beautiful. He was energetic. Most of all, he loved making people laugh. I mean, that was his thing. I mean, he was a jokester. I mean, he had it. He was a natural.
I think I read somewhere he liked music, like you.
Oh, well, most definitely. I mean, that's in his DNA. I mean, because, you know, I've been in music. I was in music before they even got here. You know what I'm saying? I've been a music producer ever since 1980 and a music executive. I asked him to come on and join me after he got out of school, but you know what he said? He said, "No, Dad, I want to go to school. I want to go to college."
Just 3 weeks from graduation, Isaiah would have been one of the first in his family to go to college. But that fateful day in April changed everything.
I heard the phone ring, and my wife screamed and said, "There's been a shooting." "There's been a shooting? What you talking about?" "Up at the school," and she didn't have to say nothing else.
When they got to the school, Michael says after hours of uncertainty, a glance from one of Isaiah's favorite coaches confirmed what his heart already knew.
He looked at me, tears came to both our eyes because we know that was it. They had found it.
Michael Shoels says 2 of his other children survived.
Because I don't know if I could have really kept it together if I'd have lost all 3 of my babies in that school. But thank God that for that teacher. He saved a whole lot of them and changed this whole thing around. Coach Sanders, he stood in front of my child and directed her the other way.
Your daughter, he saved your daughter.
My daughter, yes.
But Michael says that grief was immediately coupled with regret.
I have faith in the system. Not too much, but I have faith in the system. I put my guards down. I took my family to a situation that probably shouldn't have did it, but I did. We had problems after we got there with this certain group of children. You got SWAT stickers all the way through the school. You got this one particular group running around there demolishing our minority children, throwing them in trash cans, putting them in lockers.
As Michael prepared to move Isaiah and his 2 other kids who attended Columbine to another school, Isaiah told his dad he wanted to stay.
He wanted to stay he wanted to walk with his friends. You know, the people he went to school with. He wanted to walk with them. And he begged us. I mean, now that's a regret. If I ever had one, that was a regret right there, because we should have said no.
Immediately after the shooting, the Shoels family was one of the first in the country to call for accountability from the shooter's parents. They prepared to file a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. A barrage of criticism followed, including allegations of greed.
Was that a lonely walk?
Very, it still is. And what made me stand up and really feel that something is going to happen, something is going to get done, is when they got them parents there in Michigan. And they have to be accountable for what he did, because I really believe that if that would have happened back in 1999, some accountability, we wouldn't be having a whole lot of these shootings going on today.
Another source of criticism of the Shoels family, their insistence that their son's killing was a hate crime.
When they came in that school, they talking about I'm using a race card. When they came in that school, they know who they was called looking for. And if they say I'm playing a race card, let them say it. They said, where's that little n***? What else did they be talking about? They can say what they want to say about that. Let it so be. But the point is, I lost my child.
Michael Shoels decided to move his family to Denver to escape some of the turmoil.
We're having a house built in Denver, Colorado, in Green Valley Ranch, and someone vandalized the house before we even they put the paneling and stuff in it. They let us know that we needed to get out of there, and I did. I wasn't putting my family in no more jeopardy.
So the Shoels family moved to Texas and eventually Tennessee, where they are today.
All I can say is one day at a time, because I'll be lying if I say we only came up with some closure. We all get together and still talk about it. I mean, we all cry together. He'll come up in the conversation. That's love. That's family love. That's what keeps a family together.
Have you forgiven the shooters and their parents?
Oh, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna put it this way. Through our Father God, Jehovah, I have to forgive them. But I promise you, I'll never forget it.
That is a difference from 25 years ago. You were asked that same question and you said, no, you didn't forgive at that time. And now you're saying you are forgiving.
Yeah, but I can't forget it, and I will never forget it.
And what would you say to the other victims' families?
I would say, God bless us all, because we all lost that day. We all went through the same tragedy. That made us family. That brought us together.
What made you decide to do the interview with me?
At Nashville shooting, when I seen them carrying them babies out. That's what did it. We want to give our deepest condolences to those families who have lost children and lost all loved ones behind this plague that's going on in America today, and that's violence. We have been there where they are today.
Michael Shoels says emotionally he's come a long way, but physically he cannot leave Colorado behind.
It's hard for me to go back to Denver. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's hard for me to go back, but I have to. It's my duty to go back. My baby is buried there. I make 2 trips to Colorado a year. We was intending to stay in Denver, so we picked a particular place out, and it was just a small little tree, by his grave. Now that tree is big. That tree done grown. And that makes me feel like, that's something there is still growing. And that might sound crazy to you, it might sound crazy to a whole lot of people, but to me, that tree represents growth, and the children are our future. And the children are the roots of our nation. And if we keep on letting them get killed, if we keep on letting them die so early, what we gonna do? Us as a people gonna have to say enough is enough. We need to come on and bring this village back together, and let's save our children.
So to do that, Michael Shoels is also revamping his nonprofit he created in honor of Isaiah. It's called Let's Stomp Out Hate, and the purpose of this nonprofit is to stop youth violence and to provide resources to shooting victims and their families.
It's incredible work to be doing, a powerful voice.
So powerful. Thank you for doing that. And also, I just want to add that's crazy that tree is growing. I think it is one of the most beautiful things that could have come out of that. So, all right. Thanks, Mike. I know that was a tough interview. Well, this Friday, we're going to be looking at how the Columbine community has embraced this sort of chain reaction of kindness since a tragedy. It's called The Beauty That Came from Columbine, and I really, really hope you watch. It's 6:30 Friday night, right here in Denver 7.